Hi everyone and welcome to Coach's Corner. Hope you enjoyed your Labor Day week last week. We took a week off, but we're going to catch you back up on all kinds of sports going on at Ponca City High School. And we're going to start with Kelly Chaney, our longtime cross-country coach, as he coaches our boys and girls this time of year during the cross-country season. They're off to a good start. They have an excellent chance to have an excellent season. And Coach, let's catch people up as to how many meets the team has been to so far, and also talk about, if you could, this past weekend when you went to Norman for a meet as well.
Our first meet was 2 weeks ago on the 25th of August, and our boys took first place at Enid, and our girls were runners-up. And then we had our meet a week ago Thursday on the 1st, and our boys took first, and our girls was second overall. And this past week we traveled down to Norman, and our boys were 5th out of 18 teams. All 5A and 6, most of them are 6A schools, and there's a few 5As in there, and our girls is 14th out of 18. And most of all, we're doing pretty good.
Now, you were talking about the girls to me. You got Sierra Gray, who is a returner, who is a really fine athlete,
Yes.
isn't she?
We had 3 girls that went to state last year, and 2 of them are gone. They've graduated or moved out, and she's our lone returning, and she looking at her Norman time from this past Friday to a year ago, she improved 45 seconds. I'm sorry, a minute and a half.
Wow.
A minute and a half from one year to the next. And it shows. I mean, you can tell that she's been running a lot. And all summer long, she was running.
She's pretty new to this sport, isn't she? She did not do this a lot, but her dad's a track coach, and she decided to get into the cross country, and in a relatively considering her age and everything, wouldn't you say she's made dramatic strides?
She was part-time for us her freshman year. She was doing volleyball, and then some girls said, hey, why don't you come out and run with us? We're now playing volleyball. So she did. She ran 4 or 5 meets with us and loved it. And last year she just cross-country only and track. And she's just eating up with it, and she just runs, and she's doing really well.
She finds herself as kind of your elder statesman, though, on your team, because you were telling me that lots of underclassmen on your squad this year.
We have 6 girls out of the varsity, which is your top 7 runners. 6 of them are freshmen, and they never ran cross country ever before. They ran track in the spring and liked it as an 8th grader, and the coaches talked to them to come out for cross country, and it's really helping.
Now, it helps that these kids have run track, but just because you're good in track doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be good in cross country, does it?
And some of them are 400-meter dash people or half-milers, and they've never run this kind of distance before, but they're really getting into it right now, and they're buying into the program.
And I know this is 20-plus seasons for you. You've learned over the years you have to have patience, and you know, having 6 freshmen, that might be a tough thing for a year, but that certainly bodes well for the future.
It will really help in the next 2, 3, or 4 years, and just the knowledge that they get from it and buying into the program. And that's the whole deal. You can be out for cross country, but if you're not buying into it, because we can't go out and run 10 miles every day or 7 or 8 miles every day. So we go through our workout, and some of them will run in the mornings, another 2, 3, or 4 miles, and some of them will go late evening and run another 2, 3, or 4 miles. But one way or the other, if they put in just a few extra miles, because if I send the boys out on a 10-mile run, just say AJ Leclerc, he might run 7.5 minute pace. If I say go out on a 6-mile run, he'll run that around 6 or 6:15 pace. There's a big difference there. And then if you go out on a 2 or 3 or 4 mile run, either early or late, he can run that in the same pace. So you're going to run at a faster pace if you split up in 2 different workouts.
Speaking of the boys, you have a little more depth on that squad, don't you?
Much more depth. We have 3 seniors right now in the varsity. We have Blake Razoric and Jared Johnson, who has not ever run cross country before. And we have Austin Lewis. He ran for us back as his freshman year, and he's back out his senior year. And he looked like he hadn't skipped a beat. I mean, he's grown about a 1.5 feet taller, and he's our number 2 runner right now. So, and all 3 of those guys are in the top 7. We also have AJ Leclerc, which was a state qualifier last year, and he finished 20th in state his freshman year. And we also have 2 other freshmen. Gage Stout is looking really good for us, and a sophomore, Jacob Keffer.
It's interesting because you may not have a state champion type guy, but if you have a bunch of good guys, you can finish high in the standings, can't you?
We can. Right now, after placing 5th at the Norman meet, I think we could be a top 10, 12 in the state if we can qualify from the East Regional.
That's great. Okay, what's going on this week? You mentioned regionals. You're still a little ways away
Oh,
from
yeah,
that.
we had a long way. Regional's the third week of October. But this week we're going to Edmond, and that's where the host of the state meet is. And so I would imagine there'll be a lot of good schools that will be looking at the course and everything. So it'll be a good competition for us.
Do they run the same course for state as they do this weekend?
They will. The exact same course. And that's why a lot of people like to go to this early meet and see what it looks like.
You've seen them all, though, haven't you?
We've been there. We was at Edmond 3 times last year. So most of the kids who was out last year knows what the course looks like.
How's participation? You got good numbers this year?
We have 72 kids from 6th grade through senior year. And I haven't had that many in probably 15 years.
No.
And it is wonderful. And we even have kids that come after school, some 6th and 7th graders after school. And it's really nice to have those kids coming out.
Well,
One of them's a little 7th grader named Garrison Blanton, and he is a ball of fire.
Yeah.
Fun to work with.
well, you know, you've said many times that, you know, a lot of sports you have to have a certain skill level, but in running, if you just have a little heart and a little desire, anybody can become as good as they want to be in that sport.
If you're just willing to run and jog, you know,
Yeah.
that's half the battle. And it's not how fast you are, it's what kind of shape you're in. And that's how you continue to get your times down. And so, you look like a Sierra, she's improved 2 minutes from her freshman year up till now at the exact same point. So, just got to be able to put in the miles.
You get them when they're in 6th grade then, too, huh?
Yes,
You
6th
get all the
graders.
junior high
That's
and the high
right.
school kids. Wow.
That is right.
It's a great thing. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good to see you again. Kelly Chaney, cross-country coach on this week's edition of Coach's Corner.